Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today. I'm, of course, Gregor Guy.
My name is Casey.
And for your viewing pleasure, we will be presenting the next episode of Banghead STEM. So I'll just go ahead and toss it over to you, Casey. What you got for us this week?
This week is something that you brought up to me the other week about implanting feces from younger mice into older mice to make the older mice seem younger.
Okay. I really want to hear all the scientific data from this.
Yes, I did not believe you, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I know. It seemed so outlandish to me when I read it. I was just like, okay.
Right. So, here we go. Implanting...
Fill me in.
Implanting the fecal matter from a younger mouse into an older mouse, and how that affects the mice. Well, it seems that it reverses the signs of aging in the guts, eyes, and the brains of the older animal. I did not find any research on other types of animals, but then again, mice seem like the most basic.
Right. Well, I mean, they usually start with mice.
Right.
You know, anytime they test anything, it seems like.
So, basically, in the brains of older mice, the region of the brain associated with learning and memory become more physically and chemically similar to the brains of the younger mice. So, the one thing that did not affect that the scientists thought were a little odd was that these mice do not become more social like the younger mice do. So you learn faster, you intake information better, but you don't become more social. I think that just has something to do with age, maybe. I don't know.
You know, they call it an old curmudgeon for a reason.
Right. I mean, maybe if they gave them a little alcohol, they'd be a little bit more social.
Maybe. Here we go. Drunk mice with younger mice's poop inside them.
Right.
Sounds like the next version of this experiment.
So there has been studies show how the diversity of microbes in our gut it declines as we age. So as you get older, your body produces less microbes in your gut, and that attributes to aging.
Okay.
And basically here we're talking about our microbiome. And what is the microbiome? It is the collection of all microbes such as bacteria, fungi, and viruses, and their genes that naturally live in our bodies and inside of us. So basically we are an entire world upon ourselves. We have different all different kinds of funguses, bacteria, and all these things just inside our bodies.
Yeah. At the moment, feels like a plague inside of me.
Well, I mean, there's that stuff too, I guess. I don't know. And this is not super new. There's studies showing back in the 4th century in China, a doctor named Ji Hong told the patients that they could cure their diarrhea by consuming the fresh stool of their neighbor.
Oh, that's disgusting. It's 4th century?
4th century.
I'm guessing he didn't win a Nobel Peace Prize for this.
Well, I mean, that obviously wasn't back then, and I'm curious to see whether his neighbors got better or they died from consuming somebody else's poo.
Unfortunately, I'm assuming we don't have that information.
Right, and I don't see how.
Yes. Although
I would advise that you don't eat another person's stool, by the way.
Yes. I did hear Dr. Drew, I think, say that it's you can eat, another person's shit. I think he was talking about like dogs,
Right.
like how dogs eat,
Right.
all the time. Yeah, I think he said it wasn't that medically terrible,
Right.
even though it's disgusting.
I did see another study.
Corn around the second time, not good.
Yeah, I did see another study. Just passing through. It didn't have anything to do with this study, but they basically put diapers on mice and rats because mice and rats, they will eat their own fecal matter, and it appears that the mice and the rats that ate their own fecal matter actually had a healthier microbiome, a healthier diet of bacteria in their stomachs. So I guess there's a little something to that.
I don't know. It just doesn't sound tasty to me.
Well, obviously, I'm not putting any kind of fecal matter in my mouth, but there does lead to the possibility of maybe like a vitamin or something.
A poo vitamin?
Well, I mean, there is. I mean, why do you drink, or why do they have you when you're taking antibiotics? It actually can destroy a lot of the antibiotic or the good bacteria in your stomach. So they have you eat yogurt. So they tell you to go eat yogurt, and that adds the bacteria in your stomach. So I think that we already do something similar to this, but we could basically maybe insert other types of bacteria, maybe through a yogurt type substance or something like that, to maybe it doesn't reverse it, but it actually helps you live longer.
So our poo is yogurt.
Something like that. Not exactly.
There you go. You heard it here first.
I would imagine that, not that I've ever eaten poo, but I would imagine that yogurt is a much more tasty path to travel than a mouthful.
I don't know. I'm not a yogurt fan.
I do like yogurt. I actually love yogurt. Doctors have shown that in clinical trials that fecal transplants are an effective treatment for a certain bacterial infections. One in specific is Clostridium difficile. It is an infection of the large intestines, and what they do is they inject or transplant healthy fecal matter into somebody who has this infection, and it seems to cure them or aid in the recovery of this person.
In a human.
In a human.
Okay, so where did they get the donation?
I don't know where they get the donation. That was not something that I really looked into. Or
I wonder if they
information
have
on
a
that.
clinic kind of like a sperm bank for poop.
I mean, it's possible,
Yeah.
They have to get it from somewhere.
Yeah, very true.
But where they get the donation from is beyond me, and was beyond the article because they never stated it.
Fair enough.
The treated mice that they treated with implanting the feces of younger mice into the older mice, they lived 15% longer.
Okay.
So on average, an untreated mice would live who would normally live 141 days, ended up living about 160 days. I don't know how that would transfer into human. Could you live from, because people are living to like 90 today, would they be living to like, I don't know, like 120?
105.
Yeah, 105, 120, something like that. There is in practice, they're saying that a Mediterranean style diet that is rich in fruits, vegetables, nuts, legumes, which I have no idea what that is.
I think they're a type of bean, aren't they?
I have no idea. I've never heard of
Could be wrong.
legume in my life. Olive oil and fish which are low in red meat and saturated fats, they were associated with beneficial changes to the gut microbiome and slowed down the cognitive effects of aging. So basically, it's trying to keep a healthy biome where your gut has a lot of healthy bacteria or bacteria that help you digest, and also while you're digesting, insert these healthy things into your system.
Okay, fair enough. My only question is, how long before this is the new fad in Hollywood?
I would assume that as soon as one Hollywood person hears about this, they will immediately be. I don't know if they will eat poo, but they will think or ask a doctor about injecting poo into them.
100% agree. I wouldn't be surprised if it's already or not already happening.
I mean, I would imagine that a place like Hollywood, where there's a lot of money, and there's a lot of eccentric people.
Yes.
There is, and by the way, if you're rich, you're eccentric. If you're poor, you're insane.
Fair enough.
But I would imagine that there is hundreds, if not thousands, of people out there pushing these strange processes that anti-aging, beauty products. I would imagine that there's a lot of that out there.
I'm sure. All right, well, I'll go ahead and assume that that's about all you got there for that.
That's it.
There you go. Well, thanks for putting that together there, Casey. There we go. Baghead STEM talked about transplanting poop from younger mice to older mice. And probably the next crazy fad that's going to come out of Hollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm, of course, Gregor God.
My name is Casey.
And everyone out there, thank you for watching.